Set. No, I'm the only nigga in here. It ain't no set. Still quiet on the set. Let's go.
Our homes in Delaware.
In Delaware, yo block
Gotta stay a house square from Delaware. Taking it to the Delaware. Gotta find my company in Delaware.
door hit Delaware twice needed.
It's Delaware.
Got a bad bitch from Delaware and that area.
Bad girls in Delaware, knocking
Delaware.
Ooh, that's a lot of Delawares. Yeah, what up? It's your boy 302 Yoda, and this is the second episode of Delaware on Grind, the podcast. Yeah. And as usual, this podcast is sponsored and powered by Brews and Banter Podcast, available on all streaming platforms. New episodes drop every Tuesday with your boy 302 Yoda and Rob G and Lou Belgium and Debonair the Great, you know. Make sure you check that out. It's available on all platforms. You can even say, Alexa, play Brews and Banter Podcast, and we will pop up on your Alexa. All right, for your listening pleasures. All right, and so what we're gonna do is go ahead and get into this next episode of Delaware on Grind, the podcast. All right, and so I got a very special guest today. I watched this young man grow into to the artist that he is right now. I mean, he was always a good artist since I met him, but I actually tend to like him more now. Yeah, so what we're going to do is go ahead and bring him in. But first, I'm going to let y'all hear a little bit of something from him. This young man's a poet, a producer, entrepreneur. He does it all. And that is Young Seda.
You can take away my name, take away my voice, take away my change. You can take away my joy, you can take away my family and everything that can be. Take away my sight, my health, my strength of standing. You can take away my mind.
Yeah, trying, man, trying.
Yeah. So my man, Young Seda. First of all, how have you been making out in the quarantine? Let's start there. How you been?
Man, I'm realizing how important it is to be around other humans. Like, usually, like, you know how you would get tired of people, like, all right, chill. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm noticing, like, yo, I need to be around people, especially, like, you know what I'm saying, when you going through stuff, too, like, you probably mentally, you know what I'm saying, just trying to get yourself back together or whatever.
Right.
And it just be hard because it'll, you know, everybody busy, everybody, you know, away and stuff like that. So kind of sucks, but you know.
I mean, you seem like you're maintaining.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. So let everybody know where you're from first.
From Wilmington, Delaware, 302, first state. Shout out Joe Biden. You know, number one.
Right though.
What's that? 46th president. Let's go.
Right. They talk about I mean, I don't.
They say he cheated, right?
They say that about every. It's just so much bullshit with that, man. So it's like, it ain't even worth getting into. Like they always, it's just a lot, man. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's what you.
It definitely is a lot. But like I was saying, Young Seda is I consider him a poet. I don't know if he considers himself a poet, but I definitely consider him a poet. Definitely an entrepreneur and a producer and all that good stuff. So Young Seda, like what made you want to get into making music in the first place?
Man, all right, so like the beginning, I was like in middle school. Middle school. Man, I had like made friends with my bro Zan Jupiter. Yeah.
Zan Jupiter.
So around that time, it was like elementary, middle, or whatever. And initially, you know, I was into art. I just grew up in an artistic family. Like my grandfather was an artist, brothers was an artist and stuff like that. So I got into art, and one day, like it was like career day or whatever. We had to write down what we wanted to be, show the class or whatever. And my bro Zan was in the class, and I had wrote down I wanted to be like an artist and stuff like that. He wrote down rapper, and like all like the like reactions from the teachers, they were all like trying to clown him or whatever. Like it was weird, and it just, you know, it kind of like got my interest, and I was like, you know, what's so good about being a rapper? Like I never, you know, what's the perks of being a rapper? And he kind of like gave me a spiel about it, like, oh yeah, you know, You get everything for free. People will love you. Just all of that stuff. Everything that I have yet to get yet. And I'm a rapper, by the way. Like, I have yet to get all of that.
He sold you a dream.
Yeah, he definitely sold me a dream. And so I was like, that sounds cool. You know, that sounds like a good life. And initially, like my oldest brother, he rapped or whatever, and he would make beats or whatever. And so just seeing him tackle with that or whatever, I was just like, all right. I mean, you know, my oldest brother is doing it. I messed around with the freestyling. Hold on, somebody coming in my.
Uh-oh. Somebody's getting in trouble. She better stop acting like she don't know.
You're live.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry that interruption.
Nah, you good. You good.
This is my mom.
How you doing, everybody? Sorry.
It's good
my
to see
number
you.
one, you know, this is my PR.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah, how's everybody?
Good. Yeah, it's good to see you. Good see that you in
you
good
too.
Good health.
Yeah.
All right, now get out so we can finish.
I'm sorry.
That's the real special guest appearance right there.
Yeah, there you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Well, that's
boy.
how it is live. No interruptions. Go nap, you go.
Right.
This is
right.
real. This is happening right now. This ain't
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't no edit.
What's gonna stay in there?
She really came in the room.
Tell her get out. Look at her.
All right, wow, I'll catch you. We'll talk later.
She's so crazy.
It's lit, but yeah, man. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. And so you started. So was that when you started getting into like doing your freestyles and stuff? Was that the same time that you started fooling with like making beats and stuff like that?
Initially it was just rapping, so I would just stick to freestyling. I got into making beats a little bit more, but I have yet to really produce my own stuff. Like, you know, I would just go, you know, work with producers or like people on the internet. That's kind of like my go-to. But mess with production a little bit, but my forte is writing for the most part.
Yeah, you definitely a writer. Yeah, like you could probably write a story, man. Like,
thank you,
because a lot of if you think about it, a lot of your songs are really storylines. Like,
yeah,
like the way you deliver them is just that you just be happen to be rapping. That's
yeah,
really,
and that's cool. I remember coming up, like I remember the first song I made. It was called 302 Guns Down. I was in the studio over my cousin's crib. Shout out Rex, but I was over his crib. And one of his boys, he heard the song because like we was just like playing it before we released it, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, you kind of give me that J. Cole vibe." And I was like, "Where?" Yeah. And then ever since then, people compared me to him. I mean, no flack to J. Cole. Like, he's a cool guy. I love his music. But like, you know, that wasn't the person like that I looked up to.
You better. That's what you said.
Nah. I was just like, that's not my idol. Like, Cole is cool, but like. If you were to compare me to like an idol of mine, I'd be like, yeah, thank you. Like that's you know. But when he said Cole, I was just like, I mean, he's not bad.
So your idol, who would be your idol that you would want to be compared to?
Man, as of right now, it changes all the time. But like coming up, I feel like the three predominant ones was Hobson. I don't know if you know Hobson, but yeah, he's big on the internet wise. Hobson, this rapper named Flora, he's big on the internet wise too. And this artist named Andy Mineo, he's like a Christian artist. Yeah. But I bang with a lot of his stuff and stuff like that. So their influences are like heavy on me. So if someone would have been like, yo, you remind me of Flora, remind me of Andy, I'd have been like, oh, okay, like all right, cool. Like, but I mean, I know artists don't like to be compared at the end of the day, but if you're gonna compare me, at least compare me to the GOATs.
Nah, but
my GOATs.
But see, that's the only thing you talk about your GOATs, but they was giving you how they felt, man. And that's I mean that's a good comparison, either way you put it. Like at the end of the day, because everybody loves J. Cole. I mean, that loves hip hop. They love J. Cole. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so that's a good comparison. And with the type of raps that you do, yeah, I get it. I get it, because it's like when if you can sit down and tell a story in a song, that takes a lot, because a lot of people can't do that. To be honest, it's like, and a lot of the greats did it, like LL Cool J, freaking Biggie Smalls, Tupac, like they all did it. And so,
I like Nas. I got into Nas.
Yeah,
I got into Nas late, to be honest. Shout out Richard Raw, man. He was my mentor, Richard Raw. Like, you know, he's known in the city for his work, and not just music work, but like also like everything. Social work and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I remember he would tell me like, "Yo, man, like dig into like the old hip hop, like get, like the roots, like get, you know, listen to that and stuff like that." So it was a point I was really just, you know, honing into that, and Nas was an artist that I like really appreciated from that era.
Because you lyrical, and like Nas is a lyrical artist, you know.
Yeah,
like, it ain't really like one of those like bubblegum type
one hit wonders type song.
Yeah, or that's doing what everybody else is doing pretty much.
Yeah, facts.
So I can dig that. Now, so as far as project wise, what's the last project that you the last big project you did? I don't know if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it the Stay Young?
Yes.
Was that the last one?
Stay Young. I released that fall 2018. Shouts out Richard Raw again. He was he mentored it through me. Like I was showing him songs, and he'll be like, "Yeah, that's good." Or he'll tell me like, "All right, re-record that," or like, "All right, you know." But for the most part, like everything was cool. He enjoyed it, and it was just cool. You know, he helped me put it out and everything.
You got any plans on making any other albums?
Yeah, I have. It's just whole pandemic's just been crazy, because one moment I'm focused on like one thing, and then the next like I switch and be like, oh man, but this over here and stuff like that. And I guess when you like kind of like one man band in it, like you just you know in a crib just sending files to your producer or like working with an engineer, but they not in the same room, it kind of gets fluffy, because like, you know, you kind of gotta like stick to that one I guess vibe, or like, all right, let me like continue to finish this project or whatever. So
on the Stay Young John, what's your what would you say is your best song on there?
Oh man,
and I'll tell you if you lie.
It's a lot. I mean, like the song with Richard Raw, Life, like that was I feel like he killed me on that song. So you know, that was gonna be the, you know,
I mean, Richard always tends to put like his all into.
Yeah, yo, when he told me he wrote that joint, he told me he wrote that joint in like 15 minutes. I was like,
I believe it.
I was like, yo, I stood up like 3 hours working on mine. Oh yeah, I'm done. You know, one take head ass. I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like, I'm over here recording for like 5 hours. You know, telling my engineer, no, keep that, or like, no, we gotta edit that out. But that song is great. Dream Within a Dream. I love that song. Shout out to my bro Chip. He produced it. That was actually like dope, because like when he sent me that instrumental, you know, before it actually became a song and I wrote to it, he was just like, hey man, I made this. This was gonna be for like my other people's, but they didn't come through. So if you want to use it, you can. Ended up making my own thing to it, and it was just cool because it just felt intimate. It was, you know, someone from the city that made that beat, so it was dope.
Yeah, and like I noticed that it tends to happen a lot, that a beat that's not specifically made for if it was made for somebody else, if somebody else hears it, they can do something that
totally
the other person wasn't even thinking about the same lane. So it's like sometimes that makes the best songs.
Word.
It definitely does. Now you have put out other work. It hasn't been a big project like the Stay Young John, but you have put out other work. Now, one being the Nights Like This, and which is a dope song too.
Thank you.
Now, behind nights like this, what made you go as far as thinking, hey, I need to start putting out merch for nights like this? What
Oh
made that be the
man.
song that what made that the song that you chose to do that with?
Oh well, number one, like it was an investment. It was a heavy investment. Shouts out to the guy Stan. He's a real dope producer, and he does music too, so producer and artist. But we had got up, and he was sending me files and stuff like that. And that was one of the songs that I like. Just I don't know, like it just came to me naturally. It was one of those things where I was like, let me make something, and it ended up actually being like really good. And after I showed the team and like everybody, they were like, yo, this song is really nice, you gotta like do some stuff to it. And like I said, it was heavily invested. And it was, yeah, to see like people like gravitate towards it, even like new fans. Like, mind you, this was like pre-COVID, so
Right.
I would do like stuff in the city, stuff outside of the city as far as like events, and like the new fans that gravitated towards it, and they were just like, "Yo, man, like this song is tough. I play this every day." So it had a lot of love, and I was like, you know what, let's make some merch for it, give it to people what they want and stuff. It's first time making merch, so why not?
So the people made you do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it was
It's the
mutual.
people. It's the people.
It was mutual. I liked the song. It was different. I was singing on it. That's something different. You feel me? And
Right. You like
yeah, yeah, the beat. I don't know, man. I love the beat. Like usually when I hear instrumental,
uh-huh.
I could like tell if it's gonna be a good song or not. I don't know. Like I don't want to sound like that, but I could be like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a banger. And then or sometimes it be like the songs that I'd be like, this song's alright. And then everyone's
Yeah.
like, I love this song.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's been a lot of songs that I heard that you were like, that's all right. I'd be like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
how, man? Like, I
I
mean,
know.
but the thing is that when you're an artist, a lot of times you are your biggest critic anyway. So it's just like,
Yeah.
you might not be feeling the song, but
Yeah, that's
everybody
one
else
thing
is.
I'm learning to get over too, is just that whole self-criticize. Like,
Yeah,
bro, I got so much in the tuck, man. And it just be hard because like, you kind of you want to put out your best work. I feel like as an artist, especially like up and coming, you always want to like, yo, is my last song, like, is this better than my last song? If I drop this, is this gonna be better than my last song? So it's always like, you in a competition with not only like others, but also as like yourself, in a sense, like, yo,
yeah,
I want to top this last song or whatever. But I'm learning, like, man, music is music.
yeah.
What you think is alright might be like the best song for someone.
Right.
So yeah,
So you gotta stop doing that.
yeah.
Look,
I'm learning to to accept, like, all right, I'm not the only one. I don't even buy my own records. You feel me? Like, I'm not
right.
supposed to buy my own records. That's for the people. So I gotta remove myself from that. And
And
yeah,
and the crazy part is that I don't even think that like so if you did put out something that wasn't quote unquote as good as your last song, I don't think it has a negative effect. It just shows that you have different angles, and then for two, as long as you're consistent, like
yeah, I'm
that
learning
that's
that consistent.
I think that the consistency is a big part of it. And as long as you continue to make good music, it doesn't matter if you put out something trash to yourself every once in a while. Like
Yeah,
because it's just because people are going to say whatever because the song that you think is your greatest song could be trash to somebody, so it's the same situation.
yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? And so
yeah,
that's why you just got if you got it, man, you want to let it out and
yeah.
drop it, then
And
just drop it,
so
man.
I kind of like made this commitment to myself, and was just like, man, every month I'm gonna just be dropping stuff every month. Just cause like, number one, it ain't that much to do nowadays.
Right.
Like everything, I mean, I'm hearing that it's gonna be another phase of a
Right.
lockdown. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I might as well just entertain myself and the people, and stick to creating too.
Yeah. Did it the COVID? a lockdown and just the pandemic in itself, have you noticed yourself like changing the way you've been doing things? Has it like got you online more or doing like lives or no?
To be honest,
Apparently
nah,
no.
not so much. If anything, it made me like, let me put out more music. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I mean, that's been helpful, and stuff like that. Just coming up with different ideas, like with the Nights Like This merch. I made like some face masks. You feel me? Because like everyone need a mask now. You can't even go nowhere. Like it's crazy. You can't go nowhere
Everywhere you
without a
go.
mask.
Yep.
So I had made a face mask. I got one right here. A little self advertisement right quick. You feel me? They go in the dark. You feel me? And they cool. So yeah, and they've been selling like crazy. It's crazy. Like going back to the merch, like how well that did. That like mind you, that was like my first time ever like put in like a physical product that someone can wear out.
Right.
And like it was just crazy how much it sold out. And like in the first week, I had to like restock and like it was just crazy, man. And
That's a
it just
good thing.
motivated me to do more with this. So if anything, I just been more creative with my resources and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's how you're supposed to do. At least you found a different angle. I mean, because really at the end of the day, you're trying to give yourself something to do. So if you're doing with the times that we in, so if you're doing like t-shirts or you just making new music, at least you're doing something to occupy your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
'Cause that's
I'm realizing
yeah,
it's
it's
more.
hard.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, being an artist, it ain't easy, but it ain't boring.
Right.
So
Yeah, I get
you
it.
know.
Now to dig even deeper, yeah, another song, your most recent song was Letter to Depression. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the Letter to Depression, what's where'd that come from?
Man, all right. So, it was crazy because I wrote that song like a year ago, bro. Like, which is crazy, because when I wrote that song, I was in this room and I was just chilling. It was in the summertime, and I wasn't feeling no type of depression. Like at that time, I was cool. I was just chilling in my room, like just on YouTube, like let me listen, let me practice my my writing or whatever. And that just came out of me, and I was like, wow, this sounds crazy. And
Yeah.
I had that in tuck along with a whole bunch of other songs that I'm gonna be releasing soon. Um, and what made me release it now is I found myself in that place, like I said, going back to like everyone being away from each other. It's just so hard to really even spend time with your loved ones and stuff like that nowadays. So just feeling like, yeah, alone and experiencing those like depression, anxiety,
Right.
and all of those things. And that song kind of gave me hope, and it made me realize like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so deep, like it's
It is.
crazy. Like I'm
It
not
is.
alone, and I've been saying that more often, telling people, yo, you're not alone, no matter what you're going through and stuff like that. And it's been helping me and others. And yeah, so I'm glad that that's out, and I'm just excited to see what it does for the people.
Yeah, it's definitely deep and I mean it speaks to a lot, especially now. I would say
Yeah,
more than before, only because if you were already in a depressed state and now looking at where we're at currently, you can't
yeah, it's
do
people
what you
that
used to
like they
do.
lost their job,
Yeah,
bro. I
yeah,
lost one of my jobs. I was like,
yeah,
man, but this thing is a full-time job for real, so I ain't even stressing, like,
yeah.
but yeah, it messes up people's money, places that they once went to for like peace and tranquility, like they can't go to
Can't
that
go
no
there.
more.
Yeah,
So it's a lot, man. It's a lot, but I'm
yeah. So
grateful.
that is something that and the crazy part is that a lot of artists don't talk about it.
Yeah,
A lot of men don't talk about it. One, and then for an artist to come out and talk about it, that's even bigger. You know what I'm saying? And so
yeah.
salute for that, definitely.
Thanks, man.
Now one of my favorite songs was always low self esteem.
Oh yeah, yo,
I
that
don't
was
know.
gonna be one of the songs I mentioned from the album Stay Young, that I was like, that was a song too I liked for real. Like,
Yeah.
and that whole thing was cool.
How did you leave that out? Like how you
Yeah,
gonna
no.
say that was
Nah, man, but nah, I remember. Shout out to my bro, Kier Ethics. He's on the track, and
Yeah.
I remember like we was just chilling in the room, vibing out to beats. We usually when we be together, like we'll play each other beats and just freestyle. And that was one of the beats I think he showed me. Yeah, he showed me. And we was previous towards that whole session became about like we was just talking about like our problems. I was talking about like, you know what I'm saying, just things or whatever. I think it was about a girl or whatever. And I'm like, man, I really do want to shoot my shot, but I don't know, bro. And he's like, man, he's like, you gotta work on your confidence, son. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna show you this next beat. And he showed me that. And I was just like, I'm gonna just mention it. Gotta work on my confidence, you feel me?
Yeah.
And then it just came about and we just, kept it rolling and shot a video for it, performed it at the event. And it was dope. Like even the release, the album release event with Richard Raw and K-Hop, that was fun too. I sold a lot of CDs. I remember being with your son working on the your son J-Rel working on the Who Is Young Seda mixtape, like about like in 2017. I think that was my first time I opened up for Rich. And that was dope. I remember we was over his grandmother's house, your mom's house. And we was over
grandmother, really, yeah.
yeah, his grandmom's house. Yeah, grandmom's house. And yeah, we was just burning the CDs in her computer, and I was like cutting out the the pictures from when I printed out and just was putting them in the discs, in the cases.
Man.
Yo,
That's the hustle, man.
crazy. Yeah, the grind. It's crazy.
Yo, that is definitely the grind. But that and like again, like with low self-esteem, yo, that's another song that speaks to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you be writing a lot of songs that speak to people.
Oh, you relate to that?
You I don't relate to that shit, cause boy, I gotta work on my confidence. Well, I'm good. But a lot of people, I could imagine a lot of people would relate to that because it's real. It's real. It's definitely real. At some point, I think everybody can relate to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
not now because I'm a grown ass man. I ain't worried about that. But like,
I'm about to work on shit.
Yeah. Too old to be working on anything. But as far as like, I could think back to when I was younger and like maybe that would have hit a lot different then. So I even thinking back to that time, I could relate to the song. So it's good for whether you young, old, whatever. Like it's good for anybody because at some point in time, you definitely got to work on your confidence because it could be anything. You're not even talking to a girl or whatever. You could just be wanting to do anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes just having that low self-esteem it puts you in a bad place and halts everything that you try and move on. So the song definitely speaks a lot. Now, one thing I did want to discuss as well is that the song, what is it, Nuni?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
So that's, again, here we go with these deep songs. Like they coming from somewhere. And so just what was the background on that song?
Yeah. So my cousin Nuni, he passed away in October of last year.
Okay.
And around that time, I remember like it was just crazy for the family. You feel me? He was real close. Like he was like a brother. Always come over the house. Shared a lot of memories together. And so it was a great loss. And one of the things that would like get me is like when he was alive, like it was so many times he'll come over the house and I'll either be working on music or we'll just be in a room listening to music or whatever. And he'll just mention like, yo, Gio, man, you gotta make a song about me. Like you gotta talk about my life, my story, him battling with depression and a whole bunch of other things that he'd been through in his life. And I would just always be like, yeah, I hear you, cuz like, I got you, whatever like that. So when he passed, bro, it like hit me because it was just like, wow, like he was a big supporter of mine. Like, sheesh, man. I remember he came over like like it was like a month before he passed. Like he came over, he was like, yo, you got any more of your CDs of my Stay Young album? And I was like, nah, I had ran out. He was like, all right, whenever you get more, let me know. I'll buy 3 off you. And I'm like, all right, bet. And it's crazy because like I never got the chance to like, give him that. So yeah, I was just like, man, I gotta make a song for him.
Right.
Like this was like his last thing that he wanted. He would always mention it. Yo, you gotta make a song about me, song about my life. So yeah, I decided, all right, like let me release it, you know, on a year that he hasn't
Right.
been here and stuff like that. So
Damn. Man,
yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah.
But
It's a lot. Like I remember and going with that song too, as I was working on it, and I think the second verse, I talk about that on my second verse. I was walking home and I was working on the song. Shout out to Ish, he's the one that produced it. Ishmael, he's really nice at producing and stuff like that. We had got in the studio, worked on it, and this was around a month that he passed. And all last year, this all happened last year. And I remember like walking back home with my headphones on, just writing it, coming home from college, and broad daylight in my neighborhood. I'm walking. Next thing you know, somebody roll up behind me, gun pointed at me and trying to rob me for everything. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. And I thank God, like I was able to leave with everything. They didn't take nothing. They had a second change. And it changed of heart or whatever. It was
Right.
crazy, man. It was crazy. Like, so, you know,
Yeah.
I talked about that in the song, kind of like on the second verse, how I was writing about the song. And next thing you know, that happened. And yeah, it was just
Damn.
crazy. Yeah. So, I mean, that song is really, it has a lot to that.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot to it. I remember us discussing that situation a while. Matter of fact, it might have been like this a couple weeks after it happened or something. We were driving. We went to go up to the college to see J Rail, and we was talking about it. So I remember that situation happened, and I was just like, "Yo, that shit's just crazy." Because they're trying to like take your cell phone or something at first.
Take everything, my phone, my bag, everything. It was crazy. Yeah.
But that's why I always tell y'all, you gotta stay on point. Like I know that you want to rock with your earbuds in and just keep life moving, but you got to keep your head on the swivel at all times, man.
Yeah,
and just be aware of your surroundings because you never know. Because I mean, everybody doesn't change their mind about a situation. You know what I'm saying? So that could have been a bad situation.
For sure. Word.
And that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks. And like another thing I wanted to talk about was because we talked about the actual song letter to depression. Like, is it something that you find yourself going through now, or is it something that you've been going through?
Yeah, I mean, like I was battling with it a lot around like last month. Still getting better. You know, I'm in a better mental spot. But you know, I have my days where it be hard. You know, ultimately it's a battle of the mind. So you know, and that's a difficult part too, because you could be like, you know, around friends, family, everyone you love, but if your mind not right, you're not gonna be right. So you know, having that balance of like learning. This is more about my mental, taking care of that. You feel me? I've been taking care of my physical too. You know, heading to the gym with my older brother.
You still vegan?
Oh no, I'm not vegan. I'm not vegan. I leave that up to my mentor, but nah, yeah. I mean, just you know, more health conscious. I drink more water than ever, so just taking care of my health and stuff. But I'm learning it ain't just also about your physical health. Your mental health is important too.
Right. Yeah.
So that's. You know, that's something we don't even know. We don't really even get to like learn as men for real.
Yeah.
We learn about everything else, you know.
That's true.
But you know, better late than never. So.
Yeah, and so it's like you can go talk to somebody too. It's ain't nothing wrong with that. Trust me.
Yeah. I had started going to therapy too. Shout out to my mentor, Rich. I remember he brought that up before, and I was like, I don't know if I want to tell somebody about my problems or a stranger. I don't know. You feel me? But as I like, you know, started
at some point everybody's stranger, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But you know, a few of the artists that I looked up to, like Flora and Andy, they mentioned how they, you know, got better through therapy, whatever they've been through in life. And I was like, you know what, let me give it a try. And you know, I gave it a try, and it's been of help. You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely don't change your whole life perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still gotta work
Yeah, it's a
and
work in
stuff like
progress.
that. But it's cool to know, like, you know, you got someone you could talk to. They're not gonna judge you. They're
Right.
gonna listen to you and give you the facts and just support you throughout that whole time. So yeah, it's dope. I encourage anybody who wants
Yeah.
to do therapy to do it. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely. I definitely encourage it as well. Now, as far as what's coming up for what do you see coming up for? Is there anything first that you got planned? I know COVID shuts down everything, but like, is there anything that you have planned or any events that you have coming up that you may be performing at or anything online, anything that
Word,
you got
word.
going on?
Yeah. So like as far as like shows and stuff like that, I talked with my bro Anthem, Chris Anthem. He does a lot of the open mics and just good venues in the city. And he's supposed to be having something in December. When they say December 19th, I'm not
Okay.
sure, but yeah. So next month I'll be doing it's like an international slam open mic event, and it's they get people from like Toronto or London all in a
Hmm.
Zoom call, and we just get to hear like whether it's their singers, rappers, poets. There was one earlier today that I had did, and I performed my new song "Letter to Depression," and that was dope. That was dope. It was fun, and it just, I mean, you know, I wish it could be like in person, but you
Yeah.
know, doing the virtual, I ain't know I would have that much fun. Like it feels like you really there, like
Yeah.
to a certain extent. It feels, yeah, it almost feels like the real thing. But
Was that something that anybody could join in and at least watch, or was it just
yeah. He had
okay?
this time they connected it to YouTube, so people could, you know, go on
Okay.
YouTube and, you know, comment, share, subscribe to their page or whatever. And that was dope. Like it's on there now. Like I was showing my aunt downstairs it earlier. So I'll send you the link afterwards and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, and that's dope. So, you know, that's coming out. I'm working on some new merch, you know, trying to bring some hoodies in there because, you know, it's hoodie season now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold as hell in Delaware because, you know, that's a
Let,
northern thing or
let's
whatever.
hope not. I mean, it
Yeah,
probably is, but last
you know,
last
it's gonna
last
get
one,
cold, bro. We've
but
been living here
last
for
winter
like,
it did. Last winter it didn't get that cold though. We didn't get no snow last winter.
well, I was thinking that. I was like, I don't think there was no snow.
Nah,
That's,
that's
yeah, that's
scary.
crazy.
That's scary.
But I know it's gonna be bricks because it be bricks
It probably will.
nowadays too.
It probably will because
So, you know,
it's supposed to be cold tonight. So I don't know.
yeah, so you know, I'm coming out with some hoodies. And hey, this is my, like, you know, my first time mentioning it. So yeah. So,
Exclusive.
yeah,
Exclusive.
exclusives, you feel me? That's gonna be there. And as far as like I'm releasing a new song, or I might be releasing like two songs together, you know, for the holidays in December. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a double single just cause it's Christmas. It's the holidays, you
Yeah,
know.
why not, man?
Yeah, why not double single?
I mean, if you got it, then do it. Shoot, ain't no point
Yeah,
in holding
for
on to it. You
sure.
might as well let it out. So and also before we wrap up, uh your mom popped in on us while we was doing the
Yeah,
the-
told my mom we gonna make it, right?
right,
Facts.
right. So your mom, talk about your mom. Is that because to me, if it ain't if it was still such thing as a fan club, like your mom would definitely be
Oh, she'll
like,
run the page,
but
bro.
yeah, she
She'll run the
definitely is.
page for real. Yeah, my mom, man. You know, that's my mom, man. I love her. Like that's like my best friend, closest person to God that I have in my life. And yeah, she's just really dope, real reliable, real supportive. You
Yeah.
know, she'll go up to strangers and just be like
Oh, I
doing
know.
my job for me. You know, like you ever heard of Young Seda? Like getting them to Google them and stuff. So it's dope, you know, to have a parent that supports you in that way. So yeah, you know, it's just cool. It's dope.
Yeah,
My
she
mom.
she definitely goes hard, yo.
Yeah, for sure.
She be posting and everything. She a momager, ain't that what they call? What they
Mom is
call?
yeah, I'm about
Yeah,
to
like a
come and
mom
give
manager, a mom
her.
manager, a momager.
Yeah, she'll make sure though. She'll make sure that everything work out. So I mean, it won't be bad.
Yeah, ain't no
But
wrong with that. Look, shoot,
but
family is the
nah,
first thing.
I got a manager right now. So my mom gonna be my PR. You know, someone that just go out there and fish the people and be like, yo, hear this, play this track. So
Ain't no wrong with that, man. Shoot.
yeah.
Put her to work, boy.
Yeah, for sure. So that's dope.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. I'm glad that you came on. I don't want to hold you too much longer, but before we go, what I want you to do is just let everybody know where they can find you at, where they can find your music at, and whatever else you want to tell them too.
Yeah. So like I'm on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Real Young Seda at Real Young Seda. So RealYoungSeda. Yeah. You can find me there. Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Music, Young Seda. Yeah, man. Just one day at a time, just trying to get through it, motivate people, and just encourage them.
Yeah, man.
So.
I love it. Yo, now one thing I can tell y'all too is that if you go on SoundCloud, you're gonna go back and hear probably some old set of
Yeah. That's always gonna be there, man. I gotta keep that for my A1 fans.
You gonna hear Young Seda. That's who that is.
Young Seda, yeah. Young Seda Jr. Like the premature Seda.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yo, thanks for coming on, man. Definitely. And you can find Delaware on Grind, the podcast. You can actually follow me, 302 Yoda, on Instagram, and follow Delaware on Grind on Instagram and Facebook. And also, you can find the podcast on YouTube, and it will be available on Spotify soon as well. I'll keep everybody posted. But yeah, man. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and wrap this thing up, and we will holler at y'all people. You stay there because I got something to ask you too when we log off here. All right.
All right, bet
that we gonna go ahead and vibe out. Ooh.
You can take away my love, take away my heart, take away the places I run to when it gets hard. You can take away it all and leave me left in the dust with nowhere to go, with nobody to trust. As everything falls down, I still be looking up, cause there's only one thing you can never ever touch. No, you can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. No, you can never take my soul.